Okay, first off, really sorry for not uploading in the past 2 weeks. I've been super busy with pretty much in real life stuff. I got students graduation that I need to manage. I'm finished with my first job and I'm currently transitioning to my second job. I also finished my master's degree, which was a lot easier than I expected. And I want to catch up with all the Hooplas and hot takes that I miss, but I missed like 2 episodes and I have a third one coming up. And you know what? I'm gonna do a little bit of a format restructuring because the old format's getting kind of tiresome in my opinion. I discuss loads of Hooplas and hot takes on my stream channel, APB show, link down below. But I always stick to Hooplas based on the Hooplas that I think are interesting to cover. What I'm gonna do is to make the Hooplas shorter, but also cover more Hooplas at the same time. I also want it to be a top 10 list so that it's more interesting because there are always more than 10 Hooplas every week to discuss, and I want to grab at least 10 of them that I find interesting. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the top 10 Hooplas of the week. Starting with APB 125, which was 2 weeks ago, we're gonna do a top 10 list of my favorite Hooplas of that week. And if you want to see me cover all the Hooplas and also do a little bit of a Q&A with all of you guys, check out my stream channel link down below. I will also link the original episode as well. I timestamped everything so you can hop into the Hooplas that you want and judge them by yourself. Anyway, let's get into the top 10, shall we? Number 10. Being the failed YouTuber that I am, I of course have to rely on other means of income in order to, survive. So I get how jobs can be really hard in real life. But you know how in jobs when you do the work, you get paid? Well, this CEO wants to take it to the next level. Instead of you getting paid to do the work, you have to pay to do the work. Yes, you have to pay your employer and do the work that they asked you to do. This CEO right here has this revolutionary idea of charging people to work on their company. You know how unpaid internships don't get you paid? Well, this internship is much worse. You straight up have to pay for the privilege. You can go ahead and apply for the job if you find the prospect of paying to work on a job is a good deal for your CV. You might as well fake your CV at that point. Number 9. The anime Shimoneta is an absolute classic. It just prophesizes the world that we live in today. If you haven't seen that anime, go check it out. The premise of the anime is basically what happens if the government criminalizes dirty jokes. And it's done really well with lots of great comedy. Now, I want a second season of that anime, but it looks like I don't have to ask for it when the real world is already doing a good job at giving me one. Graham Moon, a 23 years old living at Grindon Lane, a student at the University of Sunderland, aka the freaking Brits.
Let us commence forth. British?
Has been convicted of possessing indecent images in the form of Bart Simpson's being abused by his mother Marge. That's right, a person got arrested for a Simpsons Rule 34. He's only been sentenced for community order and won't be placed in the sex offenders register. And that's good because having Simpsons porn is a ridiculous reason to be put right next to, actual predators. Especially when the cartoons themselves features Bart Simpson going like this. That's like literally the official promotional image. Number 8. Speaking of porn, this hoopla involves a dose of denial on reality. Apparently, porn addiction, according to this person, is not real. It was made up by Christian conservatives, and it's literally just people who like porn the same amount as everyone else but feel bad about it. No. Porn addiction is real, and it involves people who literally cannot live without porn and consumes them so much it disrupts them in real life. And yes, this person gets Twitter community noted because of that, with sources proving that it's very similar to substance addiction. Even as someone who likes to consume porn, I too find it undeniable that the addiction is a real thing. I too like video games as well, and I too admit that it's possible for somebody to be addicted to video games. To dismiss the whole addiction problem because you think it's not real, or to dismiss them because the conservatives say so, is going to mislead people into thinking that it isn't a problem. It is a problem. That said, the conservatives can be dumb when dealing with this topic, so yeah. Number 7. There are loads of workplaces that are absolute hell. One of those workplaces are the ones that care about your sexuality for some stupid reason. I mean, last time I checked, office romance is a little bit of an ethical concern, so I don't see how the employee's sexuality should be the company's business to know. And apparently, they're allowed to ask what your sexuality is as long as there's an option that says, prefer not to say, which is just as bad if a company asks you if you're a virgin, but it's okay as long as there's an option that says, prefer not to say. But what if the workplace in question straight up says, no gays or non-Christians allowed? That's what this workplace wants you to do. Job applicants must absolutely agree that they only adhere to the biblical Christian marriage, which is between a man and a woman. Not only that, but the employee apparently need to explain their relationship with Jesus, which is just baffling in almost every regard, especially if the employee isn't, Christian and they don't have a relationship with Jesus. How are you even supposed to describe your relationship with Jesus if you're not Christian? Just tell them that he's a close acquaintance to your God?
Like a soul who doesn't know Jesus floating without purpose.
Number 6. This is among one of the dumbest things that you can do in any professional workplace. It's so dumb that even my brother's friend, who is a lawyer, knows about this hoopla. A lawyer gets caught with using ChatGPT to do legal research. Now, I get that ChatGPT is a helpful tool and can be used for all sorts of stuff. It does at least give me this very funny clip from Dangpods.
The GPT? The Goopt!
But man, people abuse the crap out of this tool, and they don't even bother to check the fine print. The tool actually gives the lawyer in question cases that are completely freaking fictional. That's right, ChatGPT gives fictional cases that straight up do not exist. The lawyer proves that the case exists by showing a conversation between the lawyer and ChatGPT, with ChatGPT saying, yes, the case does exist. You might as well ask the homeless guy outside the courthouse and they would be just as credible, if not more. We are entering the top 5 hooplas, so let me remind you once again that you can see these hooplas and more at the APB show channel, link down below. Go subscribe, and also the original episode, right? Timestamp everything. Seriously, go check them out. Number 5. Nick Huber is a really weird guy. At first, he tries to sell loads of tomatoes to make a $2 million profit in 2 years, forgetting the fact that tomatoes die within a couple of weeks. Then he tells people that moving on from a big city is an easy thing to do. Then he tells people that he employs people in third world countries to do his job, basically running a sweatshop. And then he tells people that if you play video games, that will turn women off. No. Playing video games will not turn women off. I actually have a video showing a wife feeding his gamer husband. Funnily enough, that actually happened to me in the middle of the stream, where I was streaming, not playing video games, but talking about video games, and my girlfriend just made me breakfast. She gave me some apples and veggie pizza, which I eventually ate throughout the stream. I didn't even ask her to make one, she just did it out of her own will. That's why I was genuinely surprised. Not to mention, I know loads of girls at my former school that I used to work on, that I used to teach kids with, that actually play video games. Heck, Mona from Genshin Impact are like their favorite characters. And that's a character that casts spells and dresses like a, not wizard, but a witch. But okay then, I guess video games will just turn women off. You can take it from the words of the Filipino sweatshop employer. And by the way, if you love video games and the women that see you play video games get turned off by you, they don't really love you. They're not really worth your time anyways. Number 4. The boomers, ladies and gentlemen, came back with a vengeance. So there's this video of a white girl being attacked by a group of black girls. Now, I don't have the original video, but let's just say that it's not a pleasant sight. So what do you think is the reason why the girls are fighting? Well, if your conclusion is video games, that's exactly what the boomers said. Funnily enough, if what the boomers said is true, then that would contradict what Nick said earlier about girls not playing video games or liking people that play video games. And yes, you heard that right. The boomers are coming back with their anti-gaming take by saying that Grand Theft Auto is the cause of these girls fighting and destroying the youth. And rap music as well, because I guess rap music is evil. But video games are part of the problem when they involve theft, fighting, wars, murder, destruction, loitering, vandalism, sexualization, and Satanism. Because of course, Satan has to get involved somewhat.
Every single part of that sentence horrifies me.
Here's some pro tip to all the boomers out there. If you genuinely want to save youths from the destruction of America and you believe that video games cause them, maybe don't let your kids buy video games. I mean, it is $1 trillion industry after all. It makes more profits than freaking Hollywood, for God's sake. If video games are the cause of the destruction of American youth, then maybe you, as parents, should stop buying these for them. That or be a good parent. Number 3. This one just highlights how terminally online people are the most insufferable individuals out there. So you have this persona over here talking about futanari, aka anime girls with dicks. The person thinks that futanari is a slur towards trans people, which is false. Twitter notes actually went on to correct their mistake. Twice. The person thinks that consuming futa would make people think that calling trans people futa is okay. Next thing this person say is gonna be video game violence will make people to be violent in real life, because that's how silly you sound. Look, you want to educate people about trans people in fiction and in real life, that's perfectly fine, but take my advice, do not be immediately hostile with people with differing opinions to you. I know for a fact that you are hostile and unpleasant because you have two panels depicting you straight up assaulting the opposing character when the character did nothing wrong. All he did was praising someone's futa drawing. I mean, jeez, what an asshole for you to attack someone for praising someone's drawing. And the second time you attacked him is when he said that futa is hermaphrodite, which he's absolutely right on, and you just attacked him for stating facts. This is Pride Month, so let me give a quick tip to all the LGBT activists out there. The cis and straight people are your allies. If you are hostile to them because they are hostile to you, you are only fueling their bigotry and proving them right. You are basically fulfilling the prophecy. The prophecy being that all cis and straight people are homophobes and also transphobes. Basically just being a bigot in general. You are ironically continuing the cycle of bigotry by retaliating with hostility. Or wait, is that what you're trying to do this whole time? Continue fueling the bigotry out of some false pretense of social justice so you can profit and benefit from it.
I just want to attack other people, and I want to kill other people, and I want to create conflict.
Number 2. This is an insanely hot take from an individual who thinks that he knows better. So we all know what happened with Gollum is an absolute garbage game riddled with garbage performances and garbage gameplay. The developers apologized to the whole thing, but this brave guy said that they shouldn't apologize. This guy went on a really long thread about how game developers should not cater to gamers. He gives all the classic points like how gamers are entitled. Yes, how dare these entitled gamers ask for quality in their games that they spend their hard-earned money on. Oh, wait a second, apparently gamers spend virtually nothing on video games. Yes, they spend nothing except their hard-earned cash. But aside from that, pretty much nothing. But the general point that this guy wants to say is that we should leave our negative reviews out of the way and advocate for better refund policies. The reason is because negative reviews hurt the developers' feelings. So let's not talk trash about their games. Refunds, on the other hand, don't hurt the game developers' feelings. Apparently. You get your money back and you move on with your lives. I don't know about you, but encouraging game developers to just run away from negative reviews is not going to improve the quality of their game because they won't know why the game is bad. So it's not exactly a good thing to do that. But hey, we should stop treating gamers as if they're employers or investors, forgetting the fact that these employers and investors wouldn't get paid unless the gamers, buy their games. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I am an investor in a video game company and I see nothing but refunds after refunds after refunds on the games made by a company that I invested in, I probably would sell my shares and leave the company before it goes under because it sounds like they're on the verge of going under. And my number 1 hoopla of APB 125 goes to... It's on the thumbnail, so you already know what it is. Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 is very well received so far. Lots of people are loving the game, and my brother sunk in like 37 hours into the demo at the time of making this video. Yes, just on the demo alone. And every single time a game gets popular, there will always be haters. And let me tell you, the haters on this game are bizarrely coming from both sides of the culture war. And both sides deserve to get laughed at. On one side, you have the game journals complaining that Cammy's outfit is problematic and shouldn't make a comeback. Oh, never mind, it should, so that it can remind people that we have moved on from stuff like this. I guess that's a loophole that game developers can use. Have the classics outfit back so that we can remind people of the times that have passed. On the other side, you got the anti-woke crowds. They don't like Street Fighter 6 for the woke controls, which is a control scheme that lets you play the game like you're playing Smash. Guys, if you think that using this control scheme will get you a competitive advantage online, that's like saying you running an auto car will get you a competitive advantage over the manuals when you're playing Forza. Spoiler alert, no, it won't. The host, who is named Eternity, also gets complained because of how flamboyant they are and how flamboyant characters have no place in Street Fighter. Bro, have you played Street Fighter? Flamboyant characters are practically the freaking norm. Just ask Vega. Not to mention, since the game takes place in current year, where the significant part of the Western population are progressive, I don't think you should blame the game for being progressive. I think you should blame the West in general. It's almost as if the game is taking notes from reality or something. I also want to highlight this comment because I noticed the exact same hostility that I see from the Futa hoopla. When you claim that a game like Street Fighter 6 is woke, people will ask you why you think that is. If your response to people asking this question is how you are a disingenuous, mendacious tool, yeah, there is a reason why people don't take your complaints seriously and makes fun of you. Different ideas, but the exact same attitude. It seems like hostility towards a differing opinion is a common attitude that culture warrior grifters adopt. Yes, the SJWs advocate for the censorship of your opinions, but you being an asshole is not a good thing either. But hey, I guess I shouldn't expect any forms of pleasantries when arguing on the freaking internet. Thing is, I'm not the one trying to start a movement and participate in this stupid culture war. You are, both of you. And you both are failing miserably at it, so I'm just gonna be sitting here and laughing my asses off. And that's all for the video today. Guys, thank you so much for joining in the top 10 for APB 125. Again, really sorry for the lateness of this one. If you want to see more of this, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe for more. And thank you so much for all the channel supporters. If you want to support this channel, just $1 in any of these means, and you have contributed so much. Seriously, thank you so much, and I'll see you all next time.